Jason Grace and Piper McLean are a romantic couple from the Heroes of Olympus and the Trials of Apollo series. In this video, I'll be exploring their relationship, how it started, and how it evolved throughout the books. Before getting into it, there will be spoilers for both the Heroes of Olympus and the Trials of Apollo. And with that, let's get started. Jason and Piper's relationship started in The Lost Hero, but how it happened was pretty complicated. So for this, let's give some background on each character first. Jason Grace was a Roman demigod of Jupiter from Camp Jupiter. He was a praetor alongside his best friend Reyna Ramirez-Arellano, and Reyna actually had feelings for Jason, but they were never in a romantic relationship. Just months into Jason's praetorship, he was kidnapped by the goddess of marriage Hera to place him in the wilderness school to meet with Greek demigods. Hera did this for her plan for the Prophecy of Seven, which Jason would be a part of in the future. Piper McLean, meanwhile, is a demigod daughter of the love goddess Aphrodite and a mortal movie star named Tristan McLean. As an actor, Tristan McLean was very busy and had no time for his daughter, which led to Piper stealing things to get his attention. Piper got away with what she stole most of the time because of an ability she had called Charm Speak, but one day, she stole a BMW and got caught. Instead of sending her to jail for the theft, Piper was sentenced to study in the wilderness school for troubled kids. There, she met a fellow demigod named Leah Valdez, and that's when she met Jason. From here, things get pretty complicated. For Jason to fit in well with the rest of the people in the wilderness school, Hera gave everyone fake memories about who Jason was to them. It affected people differently. Leo thought that Jason was his best friend, but Piper looked at Jason as her boyfriend. Let's expand on Piper's fake memories about Jason. Piper knew that she was classmates with Jason, and for 3 months, she tried to get him to notice her. After these months, Piper and Jason finally had their first kiss under the stars on the roof of their school. And from there, they dated for 3 weeks, which Piper described to be the best weeks of her life, until something crazy just happened. Let's go to the events of The Lost Hero. Jason wakes up on a bus and Hera erases his memories completely. Jason had no idea who he was or who Piper and Leo were, which breaks Piper's heart. Jason thinks to himself that Piper is beautiful, but he feels bad that he doesn't know her. Piper thinks Jason has amnesia, and their bus brings them to the Grand Canyon. There, they were attacked by a Ventus named Glynn, and despite only knowing Piper for a few minutes, Jason defended her against Glynn. From the fight, Piper was thrown off the skywalk, and Jason flew to rescue her. At that moment, Jason admits that he wants to kiss Piper, but he didn't because he felt like it was wrong. After Jason, Piper, and Leo got picked up by Annabeth Chase to Camp Half-Blood, Piper and Annabeth talk in private. From this conversation, Annabeth analyzes the situation that Piper and Jason had, and deduced that Hera had given fake memories to Piper about Jason, which leaves Piper heartbroken because all the memories she thought she had with Jason were actually fake. Piper was in love with Jason, and she had no idea if Jason still felt the same way for her. Piper was also jealous of her half-sibling Drew Tanaka, who was flirting with Jason. After Piper was claimed as Aphrodite's daughter, she got a full makeover. In front of everyone, Jason called Piper a knockout, and from there, they were given a quest to save Hera. Jason and Piper bonded a lot in their journey. At one point, Jason actually wishes that the fake memories were real because he was starting to fall for her in reality. At the same time though, he thinks that this romantic relationship with Piper might be unfair if Jason actually had a girlfriend back in Camp Jupiter whom he doesn't even remember. This might have been a blurry memory of Reyna, but at the same time, this is false because Reyna and Jason weren't even a thing, so this was just Jason overthinking. Piper and Jason bonded usually through one-on-one talks, and they saved each other multiple times in the quest. Piper saved Jason from Medea when Medea was controlling Jason and Leo to fight each other. Piper also helped in the fight against Keone to save Jason and Leo, and Jason fought against Midas and Laertes to save them all. Jason also ended up apologizing to Piper for the fake memories because this made their interactions quite awkward, but Piper told him it was fine because it wasn't Jason's fault. Jason also helped Piper open up about the trouble Piper's dad was in, as Tristan McLean was actually kidnapped by giants, and she was worried about him. Piper didn't want to tell Jason and Leo about it, because it might have been a trap for them all by Gaia, but Jason wanted to save Tristan McLean. After they saved Tristan McLean, the trio realized that Tristan had suffered so much mental torment, and the best way to save him was to erase any memory that had to do with the kidnapping. With this, Piper gave her father a potion that made Tristan forget all about the giants and Gaia, and she cried to Jason afterward. Jason was there to console her on it, and told her she did great in the quest. Once their quest was done, Jason, Piper, and Leo went back to Camp Hapled. Jason had gotten his memories back, and he remembered Reyna, which made him question his feelings for Piper. Piper also threatened Drew to back off of Jason, and despite feeling unsure about their relationship, Jason was seen holding hands with Piper. From this, it's clear that Jason loved Piper, but he was wondering about Reyna. We get pretty much nothing on Piper and Jason in the Son of Neptune, so let's go to the Mark of Athena. Around this time, Jason and Piper were pretty much deep in love, and when they arrived at Camp Jupiter, Jason showed Piper around Camp Jupiter. When Leo was seen firing at the Roman camp, the Romans started attacking the Seven. In the chaos, Jason defended Piper from the attacks, and he ended up getting hit by a brick, which knocked him out. In the Argo 2, Piper tended to Jason's wounds, and she was so happy once he woke up. From this book, it's clear that Piper was jealous of Reyna because of the history Reyna had with Jason, and she wondered if Jason felt any romantic feelings still for Reyna. At one point, Piper was also annoyed with Jason for being secretive about Jason's past in Camp Jupiter. They had to talk about it once, and Jason assures Piper that he has no romantic feelings for Reyna, and from there, their relationship became more stable. However, Piper was still jealous, and any mentions of Reyna from Jason caused Jason to nervously glance at Piper. When they were confronted by Hercules, Hercules told them that they had to get the cornucopia from Achelous. Jason and Piper ended up doing the quest, and they were successful together and made a great team. From this meeting with Achelous, Jason and Piper realized that Hercules was not a good person, which is why Piper shot pineapples at Hercules with the cornucopia as Jason flew them both out of there. When they landed in Rome, it was Jason's birthday, and he and Piper went on a picnic in a park. When the crew learned of Nico D'Angelo's kidnapping, they went on a quest to save Nico. Jason and Piper were joined by the demigod Percy Jackson, and in the journey, they came across nymphs who tried to drown them. As they struggled with the poisonous water, Piper took Jason and told him she loved him. Luckily, they were saved because Piper quickly thought of a solution by using the cornucopia from Achelous. When Percy and Annabeth fell into Tartarus by the end of the book, Jason blamed himself for not being able to save them, but Piper reassured him that it wasn't his fault. From this, Jason took charge and became the leader of the crew, which Piper admired. Jason and Piper were a power couple at this point, and Piper's jealousy for Reyna seemed to have subsided. Because Jason was away from his strict Roman training, he was becoming more relaxed in himself, and Piper was glad that Jason was becoming more open. Piper saved everyone again by fighting Chione, and in the same book, Piper figured out a line in the prophecy which said, "The storm of fire, the world must fall." She deduced that this could mean Jason's storm powers for the storm part, and the fire part would be Leo's fire abilities. The world must fall part would mean Gaia's defeat. Jason was so happy for Piper doing this that he kissed her and called her a genius. And now, let's go to the Blood of Olympus. Piper was there with Annabeth and Jason when they went undercover to get information on Gaia's plans. A fight breaks out and Jason gets stabbed by Michael Varus. Piper was there immediately to heal him with ambrosia, and from there, Piper was there to help Jason through his recovery. To keep Jason calm throughout his rest, Piper told him Cherokee stories, and around this time, Piper wasn't jealous of Reyna anymore. It was clear that Jason loved Piper so much that before the battle against Gaia in Athens, he imagined a future of the two of them married with grandchildren. During the final battle against Gaia, Piper and Jason fought together, and they witnessed Leo's death. Both of them mourned Leo's death and comforted each other. They had a kiss under the night sky, and this mirrors their first kiss and the fake memories, which Jason points out. Jason told her that they'll make new memories, and they both hoped Leo was alive. This promise sadly didn't last, which brings us to the events in between the Blood of Olympus and the Hidden Oracle. Around this time, they received a scroll from Leo that he was alive, which led to Piper and Jason trying to find Leo for months. However, it was no use as they didn't find Leo. And from there, Piper and Jason went to a high school to continue their education. Around this time, Piper broke up with Jason. Her reasoning was that she wanted some control in her life, and that their relationship had a fake basis. She wanted to focus on herself, which made Jason move to an all-boys boarding school. The reasoning for their breakup wasn't really communicated well to the other characters like Melly and Coach Hedge, and instead, Melly and Coach Hedge got the impression that Jason had dumped Piper. A couple of months later, there were reports of fires, and it led to a labyrinth with an oracle named Hierophily. Jason went there to investigate with Piper, but Jason was the only one who found Hierophily. Hierophily told him that the next time they entered the labyrinth, either Jason or Piper would die, and Jason would keep this a secret from Piper. And now let's go to the Burning Maze. Apollo visited Piper with Meg McCaffrey and learned of Piper and Jason's breakup. They talked about the situations on the wildfires, and this led them to think that Jason might know more information about them, because both he and Piper investigated previously, and he might not be telling the full truth to Piper. They went to this boarding school, and it was clear that Jason and Piper's relationship was strained. Jason sadly confessed that he didn't tell Piper everything, and this leads to a bit of an argument between him and Piper. Jason explained that they had to get Caligula's shoes to complete the quest, and when Piper and Meg left the room, Apollo wasn't convinced that Jason told them everything. Apollo presses Jason on this, which leads to Jason admitting that Hierophily had told him that if either Jason or Piper went to the labyrinth, one of them would die. Later, they went to a group of yachts nearby, and Piper had a one-on-one talk with Apollo. She told him that she still cared about Jason, but that she needed more time to focus on herself. She even referred to Jason as her closest friends, and the most infamous scene from this book happens after this. Jason and Meg get captured by Caligula's soldiers, and Piper and Apollo try to save them. Jason and Meg were trapped in Medea's tornadoes, but Jason managed to blast himself out of it, and he charged at Caligula. Jason and Caligula had a brutal fight that led to Jason's death. In the last seconds of his life, Jason made his horse Tempest to go over to Piper, Apollo, and Meg to bring them to safety. Seconds after they were taken away, Tempest took Jason's dead body. Piper sobbed over Jason's body, trying to deny the truth that he was dead. When her dad came over to check on her, Piper lied that Jason got into a surfing accident, and Piper told Apollo to never come back. Piper blamed Apollo for Jason's death, because if it weren't for Apollo and Meg approaching Piper earlier, Jason wouldn't have died. Despite being angry with Apollo earlier, Piper ended up killing Medea to avenge Jason's death and save Apollo and Meg. And after this, she made sure that Jason's body would be brought back to Camp Jupiter safely. Just then, Leo arrived with Festus to check on her and asked where Jason was. Piper ended up telling Leo about Jason's death, and the two of them cried, trying to console each other. And now let's go to the last book, or the Tower of Nero. Piper is seen with a new girlfriend named Shell, and is relatively happier than she was in the Burning Maze. Apollo visits her, and Piper tells him she is glad that Jason's body was safely in Camp Jupiter, and that she would never forget Jason's death. And that's all we know about Piper and Jason's relationship so far. Jason and Piper were a couple who had a weird beginning because of Hera's interference, but from there, they tried to make it work with each other. Though their relationship didn't work out in the end, their many adventures brought them together and made them closer than ever. Throughout all of this, it was clear that they loved and cared for each other until the very end. So, how about you? What are your thoughts on Jason and Piper's relationship? Let me know in the comments down below.